This jollof right here was so late. This is my assorted protein jollof. It has some eggs, some shrimp, some squid, sausages, and it was made with that beautiful chicken stew with very little oil that I shared in my previous video. My name is Sianoki. Thank you so much for joining me. So I had this big squid. I was just cutting it, and I'm about to use some for this assorted protein jollof. I just love this part of the squid. Just look at that. And you know what? There were so many dishes that I made with this octopus or squid. So kindly check out for it. Stay tuned for all the recipes that you can make from this protein right here. Okay, so after cutting it into my desirable sizes, I spiced it. Okay, yeah, I spiced it and set it aside. So into my pan went in some oil, and then I am frying some onions that I have chopped. I'm going to add some bay leaves to that and fry. I want to get the best of these bay leaves. Okay, then I have my turmeric and ginger powder together with my coriander, cumin, fennel seeds powder, putting everything together. If you don't have this, you can replace it with some curry powder. Okay, this is basically some of the ingredients that they add to make some curry powder. But I have the recipes of all the spices on the channel, so you can check it out. So after I had fried that, for some few minutes and got the best of it, I had washed this rice thoroughly until the water was clear, um, just to avoid the rice from becoming sticky. The white part is all the starch that can make your jollof sticky. Okay, so after washing it nice, I just added it to the onions and then fried it together, okay, with just the onion and the spices for some few minutes. Then once that was done, the stew that I prepared, kindly check it out. In my previous video, I made this chicken stew in a way I had never done, and it came out so well, so delicious. And it is part of this stew that I'm using for this jollof. So once I was done frying the rice in the oil and then the spices, I just added some of that stew to the rice, and I am stirring this again, frying it nicely, for a couple of minutes. I want this to absorb all the stew, so every goodness in this. Okay, so that we continue with the process. While I was doing all of this, I was boiling some water in my kettle, and this is just to quicken the cooking process. So once I was done frying the rice, I just added my boiled water, and as you can see, the cooking process is continuing. There was no pause, it's still boiling because of the water that I added. So for jollof, you don't want to add a lot of water. You want the water to be just above the rice, okay? And it's best you add your rice and the water little by little, um, because when the rice is cooked and it's hard, you can always add in some water, okay? So feel free, if you are not sure, to use just little water. As time goes on and you feel like the grains are hard, you can add some more. So I added some salt to taste, and then I am giving this a stir. So once that was done, I'll just cover it with my parchment paper, okay, and then cover this. As you saw, because of the hot water, before I even covered this with the parchment paper, it was like almost, all the water had almost soaked out of the rice. Or yeah, so this is my shrimp here that I'm frying in the oil. Initially I was not going to show, but I'm like, let me just share. So I had spiced this shrimp. This was some leftover shrimp that I found in my freezer. I'm like, okay, let me just add this to the jollof. Okay, so I spiced it with my spices. They're on the channel. You can use any spices of your choice. Okay, so once I was done frying that, I fried the squid in that same oil that has also been nicely spiced. Okay, so um I am frying this in the same oil, and because I'll be using the oil for the dishes, I didn't want to use a lot of oil, so I was doing this in batches. This really depends on how brown you want your squid, or however you want it according to your taste. Okay, so once that was nicely fried, this is what I want. I'll just go ahead and fry the rest as I'm doing this in batches. Okay. So the next thing I'll be frying is my sausages, and that one also depends on your preference. This is how I want mine. I want it a bit more fried, so I just fry that in the oil as well. Then I have whisked some eggs with some of my dried mixed herbs, which is on the channel, together with some salt and black pepper. And I am just going to do like sort of like a scrambled eggs, okay, with that. And it was the same oil that I used to fry it. I poured part of it, and this is part of the oil, and that is what I fried my eggs in nicely. So once I'm done frying my egg, the part of the oil that I took out, I'm pouring it back into my saucepan, and I'm frying my onions. There's just something nice about frying your onions. It gives it a different taste and a different flavor. Okay, together with my green bell pepper. So you can actually add this directly to the rice without frying it, but I like this added flavor. So I sprinkle some salt and black pepper on it, which also activates that sweetness in the veggies, okay, and fry that. So once that was done, I just come check on the rice, which was cooking at medium heat, okay, and then I am giving it a nice stir. Rice is nice and done very fast like that. So once I stir everything together, I go in with my next veggies, which is the carrots. I just chopped this. I didn't fry this. And then the fried veggies and the egg, the sausages, the shrimp, the squid. I just add everything to it, and I am going to mix everything together. This was our assorted protein jollof rice made with that chicken stew, and of course paired with that chicken that was grilled in the oven. You should check that chicken stew out, and you should really give it a try. It's just so simple, and it makes life so easy. Yeah, so this was so delicious. This was actually one of our Christmas dishes. This was filmed in December, but I now got the opportunity to share with you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And kindly support me by subscribing to this channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. I appreciate you. I'll see you again in another video. Mwah!